a lot has happened with the episodes I have missed for Gate, and finally I'm sitting down to talk about. So the dragon has been defeated, and we get somewhat the aftermath after the events of the dragon. So, to start from the beginning point, let's talk about that fight with the dragon. The Dark Elves that were with Izumi. I gotta say, I called it when I actually first watched that episode today. The reason why I'm saying this is because when the characters were first introduced, all those Dark Elves that got killed, when they had all these names popping up, like, there's, like, Mizu or whatever, there's just a lot of names, and when I saw all these names, like, 9 different people's names pop up, I was in my head, and I said it slightly out loud, I'm like, there's no way in fuck I'm remembering all those names, like, I'm not remembering all that, like, no way, I'm not, there's no way, and I'm not even gonna try, and then, a good 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, everyone died, everyone fucking died, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh. Like, I'm glad I didn't remember their names. I'm glad I was not emotionally attached to these characters, because they just straight up got slaughtered. Like, the deaths that happened in that fight was just so disturbing, because so many of them could have been prevented. Like, so many of these characters that died could have, survived if they didn't fucking fire RPGs. Like, they were straight up pulling out a big freaking rocket launcher, and they were about to shoot a dragon, and there's a dude behind him, and, I mean, Itami, he said, before the fight even began, to make sure you watch your back. Because the blowout of a rocket launcher, it's fucking common sense. If someone sticks their fucking eyeball in the back of the rocket launcher and they're behind you, you don't fucking hit that trigger, it's gonna blow their damn head off. And to see that scene, I'm like, yo, my god, the incompetence, oh my god, it's... And then, on top of that, a bunch of people got hurt. Itami got hurt as well by, people firing rockets, not even know what to do. This is why you go for proper training. Itami, don't ever be an instructor. Don't ever be a trainer at all. I know it's not completely his fault. It's very short notice, but still, the point is, Itami, damn. Don't give anyone ever again fucking rocket launchers if they're not a part of the Japanese military. Just don't do that shit. Because what just happened was just senseless slaughter. There's too many deaths that could have been prevented. But, they roasted now. They're dead. So what's done is done. At the very least, they killed the dragon. They got rid of the dragon. Their dragon's down. It just took a shit ton of C4. Took, it to lose an eye. Took it to lose an arm. Took a couple of explosives and a lot of, artillery from other means, but it finally went down. So, one thing we learned about this entire thing is never give Dark Elves rocket launchers. Number 2, dragons take a shit ton of bullets and explosives, so they're not very cost effective to take down. So, yeah. That's the big thing we learned from this. Oh yeah, and too, because she now is no longer crazy. Like, she now has accepted that her father has died, her people was burnt alive in front of her, they were screaming, and now that entire little bit is said and done. So moving on into the next point. So, the dragon had 2 babies. Had 2 different, children. And apparently someone else from another god, like someone similar to Rory Mercury, has arrived in the latest episodes, and so far from the character design, she looks very demonic, very demonish, and, seeing the scene to where she had 2 dragons under her command, it was actually a very scary sight. It was a scary sight because, from what we saw from the adult dragon, this dragon was a monster, just straight up killing everything, taking blows, and of course they fired a lot at it, but still, it got defeated at the very end, but it still took a lot to take down, and to see these 2 dragons pop up, you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be more, ammunition wasted, more pointless death going on, but thankfully, the dragons obviously weren't as strong as the fully grown dragon, probably because their scales or whatever wasn't as strong as their, mother, but still, the dragon babies got annihilated. Like, oh my god, that was straight up overkill. Like, you see all these tanks, you see these helicopters, you see these jets coming in, and they're firing everything at these 2 dragons. They're just obliterating them. That's carnage. Like, that really goes to show you the might of the military. And it really adds a clear picture of how OP Japan or any military from our world would be in that world. And I think that really displays the pure power and how many countries are probably just going to bow before any army that comes there from our world because of the sheer force. Which, speaking of bowing or people actually not fighting back, there was quite a few people trying to fight back. For instance, setting up the death of one of the slaves that recently got saved. and you had it to where it was stopped, thankfully, in the very end, but it almost caused it to where there could be no peace talks between, you know, all the countries. So I'm glad that kind of ended okay in the very end. I mean, there seems to be a little bit of issues towards the end of the latest episode because of what is going on with how the king got assassinated. Now, we already know who did it. We know it was the Bunny Princess, and to see the Bunny Princess, get to see her true personality and just seeing how she was acting and stuff, damn. Just... So yeah, I mean, Gate, these 3 episodes I watched, as always, as I've said many times beforehand when it comes to episodes of Gate, I'm very entertained about this series. I mean, I know it's not the best, I know it's nothing, like, completely original, I know it's nothing groundbreaking, but as I've said many times in the past, this series just gets to me where I can really be entertained. I don't know what it is, but this series really has me entertained. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what I like the most. I like that the most about anime, just something that can keep me entertained, and something that makes me smile, laugh, or just enjoy what's going on. That's exactly what's going on here. Oh yeah, there is one point I do want to mention that I need to discuss, which is very important, and I know many would be upset if I kind of went over this fact and didn't discuss it. So apparently Itami, he can't die, right? From what I can assume. Like Rory Mercury, when she licked Itami's, you know, blood, and she's like, you know, oh, the contract's been, you know, fulfilled. Apparently, Itami, when he gets damaged, Rory Mercury, she takes his damage for him. Now, that's a huge question I have right now. Now, we know how kind of invincible Rory is, but what happens if, you know, Itami dies? Like, you know, can he die? And, I mean, there's many questions I have about that right now, because it was kind of glossed over really quickly. It wasn't really explained to the fullest, which is kind of a little bit upsetting. If there's one thing I'm really upset about when it comes to these episodes, how that was kind of shoved to the side. I mean, we found out he took the damage, and Rory Mercury took the damage from him, but we didn't find out, like, how durable is he? Can he, like, get shot by, let's say, a tank, get blown in half, and will he be fine? Now, obviously, the damage will transfer to Rory, so the question is, what exactly would happen with all that? So, I have many questions. Hopefully that does get explained before the series ends, because I would hate if that just got, you know, pushed aside. We never got to see more of it. So yeah, my thoughts on Gate, these latest 3 episodes, setting up the next arc with the assassination of the king. I'm looking forward to it. Most likely this is going to be the final, probably one of the final arcs of Gate Season 2 because of the king, you know, being assassinated. Most likely there's going to be some form of issues with the other countries, and they might not want to do peace talks with Japan. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.